But of course, we're slowly getting to the Star Wars talk on.
Can I just point out? I'm glad I'm on your good side still, Hughezy. You go after people, man. Holy shit, no one's safe from this.
And you know how you know I'm funny because I'm wearing a sexual chocolate shirt.
Oh, hilarious!
So that's hilarious.
When people wear a funny T-shirt, I'm always like, that person's a comedian. They found a funny T-shirt and they put it on today. Good for them.
That's what I said to Dave Landau when I interviewed him. I says, what you need to do is you got to go up on that stage and you make a hilarious joke about the president, then you hold the microphone out to the audience to let them laughs be heard.
Pick up all the laughter.
Yeah, and then you say, let's rock the house, and you start the second joke. It's hilarious. It always
Wait, who did you say that to?
Dave Landau.
Drop. Oh, you've talked to a lot of stars, have you? A lot of name dropping on this show.
Well, I didn't name drop Anthony Cumia's name, who I've also interviewed.
Drop. I did earlier, so it's fine. Mine was just Anthony adjacent, and I was still talking about it.
But of course, as this is the Star Wars special, and as we just mentioned, Anthony, there's been a reignition, or should I say, a rise in the war between the stars of Opie and Anthony.
Very well done, sir.
Thank you. I'm quite impressed.
Nicely, yes.
I'm going to treat myself to a good hard whack after this.
Yeah, you should.
Thank you. I'll be thinking of you while doing it. The feud has really picked up again over the last week or so. Opie's made some wild fucking accusations against Jim and who I call. Are you ready to laugh?
Yeah.
The Ant-Man.
Yeah, you mean Anthony Cumia? Yeah, right.
Yeah, so Anthony Cumia, and but the feud has really picked up again.
Well,
also,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Go ahead. You're doing your thing. Sorry.
But it's also what has happened to Opie. I've always liked the guy. I've always I don't really listen to his podcast much, but when I do, it's usually him talking shit about Anthony and Jim. Opie's voice has completely changed. It's like it's reverted back to like a teenager noise. What? Why?
Because of all the haters, man. Everyone's got to be you came on my live stream just to be a hater? Is that why you're here just to hate on me?
I'm drinking coffee.
I got my coffee. So I was just watching a clip. I think last night I was watching this. Anthony responded to Opie's thing where Opie went on and said that when Anthony was fired, they wanted to bring in Jim Brewer. They wanted to get rid of Jim Norton. And Anthony went through that whole thing and explained what was real, what was not real about that. That video is posted on YouTube, so it's not behind a paywall. Anyone can go watch Anthony's response to Opie. Opie has not watched the response. Instead, he gets his news secondhand from his trolls. So he's doing his live stream. People are trolling. Anthony said this and this and this, which is not what Anthony said. And Opie's going, that fucking guy is lying. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And Opie's he's doing the same thing that our buddy Stuttering John used to do, which is fall for your trolls when they're telling you disinformation just to get you to react. And it really is some of the funniest shit. Opie really is a moron.
Just because you said Stuttering John, can we hear the theme tune again?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course. I mean, why not do that? It's totally appropriate.
Yeah.
We also have John doing this.
WATP. WATP.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Opie said WATP on his new podcast today.
I saw that. He says he's never heard of us.
Yeah. I've never heard of them.
I don't even know what that is, man.
But what is it that you think that has started this new round of back and forth? Because I was thinking the other day how great it would be, because I've been listening to a lot of the old stuff on YouTube, how great it would be for Opie and Anthony to come back for like one show every month if it's like a live show, whatever. But for the life of me, I could not understand why Anthony would want to do that. Uh, People just don't give a fuck about Opie anymore. Not that everybody hates him, but it's like oh, let's reignite fucking Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, right. So it's funny you say that because the force that was trying to make that happen was actually in the Anthony Cumia camp. Keith the Cop, who was running Compound Media, offered Opie a job to come work for them at Compound Media after Opie left Sirius. And they wanted to do something where like once a month or whatever it was, Opie and Anthony would get together and do a show again. And the reason was they have a paywall and they're trying to get people to come over to Compound Media and pay a monthly subscription. And they thought having the Opie and Anthony brand on there would draw in a lot of people because, you know, they had millions of listeners in the Northeast, but also when they're on Sirius and XM, they had a huge national audience. So yeah, I agree with you, man. There's really funny videos on YouTube. Some guy takes the time to take Opie out of the old clips. So it's like Opie-less Opie and Anthony. And you don't miss a beat. It's not like he added to the conversation. It was always just dragging things down. It's better without him. We just want Anthony and Jimmy to get back together again and do a show. That's the show that everybody wants to hear.
Yeah, but I have to say that I don't know what it is about Jimmy. Maybe it's just Jimmy on Jim and Sam. But Jim Norton seems to be dying off while Chip Chipperson and Doug Bell, who's got a huge dong, by the way. Sorry. I think that they're taking off, but with Opie and if Anthony and Jimmy did a show, that could be great, but I don't know where they would do it.
Right. Well, I mean, they kind of do it on the Chip Chipperson podcast because Anthony's on there pretty regularly, but yeah, it's not Jim Norton. It's Chip instead. So it's a little bit different, but it's still good to see those guys together.
But what do you think is the logic behind Opie starting on Anthony again? Because my theory is Opie was doing his regular shows and his download numbers were maybe in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Then he did an episode on Anthony or something about Anthony in the title. And I think it must have done like tens of thousands or more because everyone's like, oh, fuck, I've got to hear this. I think that Opie has finally accepted that nobody cares about what he has to say unless it's somehow about or trash talking the Jimster and the Ant-Man.
Yeah, so I think what's happening is Opie has started this new format that he's doing. It's like Beer Fridays or Have a Beer or something like that. And he invites the listeners to come on and video chat with him as if they were actual guests, as if they were celebrities that he was talking to or comedians or something. It's just random listeners who come on. And he knows that by doing that, they're going to ask about Anthony and Jim because what else is interesting about Opie? No one's going to ask him about Vic Henley and all the jokes he told in the afternoons when they were on Sirius together because no one heard that show. So, of course, they're going to talk about Anthony and Jim. So, Opie, this is great for him because he gets to pretend he didn't bring it up. Oh, I never talk about that. I didn't want to talk about that. But anyway, let me tell you what happened. I've never told this before. You know, you get this big reveal. And then that gets some juice. It goes viral. Anthony's talking about it. So now they're going back and forth a little bit. But yeah, this is all planned out by Opie. He's got nothing else going on. And he pretends he's trying to like distance himself from the Opie and Anthony stigma. And at the same time, he realizes that's not working out at all. His audience is just shrinking to a point where he's talking to like 118 people on his live stream, and it's really sad.
Yeah, because but see the thing, Opie has done the stupid mistake of moving to the beach because there's nothing else to do. It's like just before our lockdown over here just ended about 2 weeks ago.
Congrats.
3.5 weeks ago we had a party, and it was strange at how poor some of the conversation was. Because all we could talk about was, oh, I watched this thing on TV and then I watched this thing on Netflix and then this was on Amazon Prime. There's nothing to talk about. Since the lockdown, it's been nonstop. You're like, you should have seen this fucking thing that happened today in the office. The tits on this whore on the bus. Oh,
right.
Like that Opie needs to get back to the city and do something so that he can talk about it or so that somebody can actually ask him about it. Like he's cut his hair off. How many questions can you get about getting your fucking hair cut?
Well, I used to make fun of him because he used to do shows at the bar. he'd go to this place called Gebhard's, a couple other places, and he would sit down and there's music playing and there's people in the background and it's noisy, and he's sitting there with his buddy and they're ordering drinks and they're talking. Terrible show format. 30 times better than what he's doing now. Because now, like you said, there's no stories to tell. He's done nothing for the last year of his life except for live in his house on the beach in the Hamptons. So he's got nothing going on. And now he actually is back in Manhattan again, but there's really not a lot to do in Manhattan either, even if he did go out and do shit. So now the biggest thing to talk to him about is what he looks like. He finally faced the camera at himself instead of out the window for the first time in a year. He looks like a homeless man. And that's really the only point of conversation there is.
Yeah, that episode when he was sitting outside a restaurant shouting at people.
Yeah, that was great. The guy told him to stop harassing the customers.
Yeah, what the but this is the thing. I was thinking about that. Not only that it didn't work out for him, that he was probably sitting in his house thinking, I know what I should do. I should go out and make fun of people outside the restaurant. It's hilarious. And I think that he's got this addiction, especially now that Anthony started doing stand-up comedy. I think that Opie has now doubled down on being, no, I'm funny too. And I say, no, just stick to your strengths and interview people, because I do think he's a good interviewer. I just think that anytime he goes for laughs, it's like watching the Jenna Jameson porno in 2021.
That's not a good thing. So it's funny that you say that, because just to recap for people who don't know, a few weeks ago, Opie was sitting outside in Manhattan, and the owner of the restaurant had to come out and tell him to stop yelling at people, because people were like literally walking away from him in the restaurant because he was harassing them. Now, you're saying that he was trying to like goof on them and be funny. He wasn't. He was telling people to put their masks on. That was his big live streaming show. That was the content. That was the format of his show. He's going, sir, put your mask on. Ma'am, can you please put your mask on? I was like, dude, you are the most obnoxious asshole. People are walking outside and you're yelling at them to put on a fucking mask. Go fuck yourself, Opie. That's ridiculous. I'm glad he got kicked out of there.